guys, it's Crystal. I'm going to show you how I made this yummy keto chocolate cake. It was not a planned doing. I actually was just craving chocolate. I had my mixer out because I was making buns and thought I would whip together a cake. So please excuse the dirty mixer here. I was making buns and just, like I said, wanted to make a cake. I measured out 1 cup of egg whites, and there was a little bit left in my carton, so I measured it just to show you how much there was, about 1/4 cup left in the carton that I added. I took 2 eggs and separated the egg yolks from the egg whites, and once they were separated, I then added my egg whites directly to the mixing bowl, and then with my egg yolks I just mixed them a little bit with my fork and then set it off to the side. I then went on to measure my dry ingredients. I was weighing out my egg protein powder. This is the no yolking brand. I have to order it off of Amazon. There's no stores that carry egg protein powder that I've found, but it comes really quick on Amazon. So I measured out 30 grams. It was just over, but I wasn't going to put any back in the bag. And I measured 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder. I also used Keto's Simply Delicious Instant Chocolate Pudding. I got this at my grocery store in the keto low carb area. I find they're at a lot of grocery stores now. I used 3 tablespoons of the instant pudding, and I used 3 tablespoons of confectioner Swerve. I used 1/8 of a teaspoon of Xanthan gum as well. I forgot to add salt, but normally you would add a dash of salt. And I just went ahead and mixed it up a little bit and set it off to the side, and went back to my stand mixer and got it all put together. The stand mixer is still new to me. I'm really loving how quick it is, especially with all the breads that I've been making. I started whipping my eggs on high, and then I added 1 tablespoon of cream of tartar. And you can see the mixture slowly starting to turn color. Just as it started to turn white, I added the dry ingredients, 1 fork load at a time. I'd add a fork and then wait for it to dissipate and then add the next. It took me about 1.5 minutes of doing 1 fork load at a time to get it all incorporated. You do want to mix the cake batter until you have stiff peaks. For me, this took about 4 minutes in my stand mixer. I know when I've used my handheld mixer in the past, it's taken me a bit longer. So you could do this with either or. It just may take longer with a handheld mixer until you get those stiff peaks. Once the stiff peaks were good to go, I brought my bowl over and incorporated those egg yolks that I had set aside. I added half the mixture first and worked it in by folding the mixture until it was incorporated, and then added the rest. I didn't want to over mix it, so I just continued to fold in the egg yolks. Now for my cake pan, I don't have a large spring foam cake pan. That's what I wanted to use. I do have one now, but I didn't when I was taping this. I had a large tart pie pan that was nonstick. I cut out a parchment paper and put it on the bottom, and then spread out my cake mixture. I just wanted a large chocolate cake. We're a family of 5, and the only cake pans I have are a lot smaller. So I just wanted something that was large and would feed the whole family. I baked it in the oven at 320 degrees Fahrenheit for a half an hour, and there you see my buns that were cooking. I did a half an hour at 320 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'll show you what it looked like. I closed up the oven and let it sit in there for another 20 minutes off, and then I pulled it out and let it cool completely. I did add saran wrap on top because we were heading out for the afternoon, so it sat on my countertop with saran wrap while we were gone. I just didn't want it to dry out or get too firm or anything like that. And then when I got home, I mixed together just like a chocolate whip to put on top. I used a cup of heavy cream and what was left from my box of keto pudding. I also added 2 tablespoons of Swerve, but what I had left in the box, this was a new box when I started the cake, I just dumped the rest in. I'd say it was about 2 tablespoons. I added 2 tablespoons, well, maybe like 1.5 tablespoons of cocoa powder and 1/8 of a teaspoon of xanthan gum, a splash of vanilla, and a little bit of salt. I used my stand mixer to whip this up, and this was my first time using the whip in the stand mixer. I normally had a handheld mixer. I don't think the xanthan gum is necessary if you have a stand mixer. This mixture got quite thick fast, whereas when I use a handheld mixture, it doesn't seem to whip up the same. You can see I had to add a little bit more cream in drizzles because it was almost too thick. So I'd maybe omit the xanthan gum if you have a stand mixer and see if you need it. You want it to be a nice thick whipped cream, and then it's ready to go. I attempted to pry the cake out of my tart/pie pan. It was a little bit tricky, but I eventually got it out. I peeled back the parchment paper and placed the cake on a bigger plate, because this was quite large circumference-wise. Otherwise, I would have used a kitchen plate because I'm fancy like that. I'm actually not a professional baker/decorator by any means. I spread the whip on top and did the best I could at leveling it out and making sure I got all the sides, and tried to make not too much of a mess. Again, decorating is not my strong suit. I was just craving chocolate. Once I got it all nicely smeared out, I decided to add some strawberries just for a little more pizzazz. You could totally leave it plain as is, or you could maybe add chocolate shavings or coconut or nuts or maybe mixed berries. I decided to attempt a flower strawberry design. But yeah, I know a lot of you are waiting for this video to be posted. I was not planning on making this cake and or a video, but thought I would tape it just in case anyone wanted the recipe. I'm not sure if you'd classify this as like a sponge cake or a pound cake or an angel food cake. I just wanted chocolate, and I've been using the protein sparing bread recipe a lot, and so this kind of was just a concoction that would fill my chocolate niche and keep me within my macros. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And let me know if you try the cake. I loved it. My family loved it. My daughter said she liked the strawberry angel food cake better, but yeah, I just thought I'd share that. Again, I know this wasn't a very put together video, but thanks for watching, guys. Bye.